Okay. Ooh, it's so pigmented! Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you are, thank you so much for coming back to my corner of the internet. Today it is all about the new. We got a whole bunch of stuff from Ulta, got a lot of e.l.f. products, got a couple of Winky Lux products, got some stuff from NYX, some stuff from Tarte, some brand new stuff from ColourPop. So if you'd like to see all the stuff I got and what it looks like on this face, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. I also got one of the Maracuja Juicy Lips. Oh, I'm so excited to try this. This is all over TikTok right now, and I just need to know if it's good. I was actually gonna film this video like 3 or 4 days ago, but I got to the point where I was getting everything together and ready, and it turned out I picked up one of the Maracuja highlighters. They make like the same sticks like this, but it's a highlighter. I didn't know they had that. Needless to say, it took me a few days to be able to go and return it. Now it is returned and traded out, so I'm ready to try that. I'm also ready to try this Cloud Crush Too Faced blush. Heard a lot of good things. Also the e.l.f. Camo blush. Heard a lot of good things, and these from Winky Lux, they just looked really cute, and I know that I love the Bronze Age bronzing sticks and the Cheeky Rose blush, you know, like the viral one that actually looked like a rose. And I know how beautiful and natural those looked on the skin, so these have got to look amazing. The Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener from e.l.f. It seems like this is supposed to be a dupe for the Becca under eye brightener, but that one was super pink. This one actually has like different tones that are available, so I don't really know how that's gonna work out. I feel like it's gonna just mainly look like a concealer, but it's got a lot of peach in it, so it will definitely help with under eye darkness. Same thing with the Fix Stick. This one I just got as a concealer because I thought this one was going to be just kind of like a corrector, but I really think it's gonna be concealer. But anyway, got that to try it out. And I grabbed the NYX Slick Click, but that's only because I wanted to compare it directly to the Tarte one and see if they're similar or not, because maybe the next one could be a dupe for the Tarte one. Regardless, let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Definitely tried the non-liquid, the solid Poreless Putty Primer, and it was amazing. Love it. And I've also tried the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, so hopefully this is gonna be a great dupe for that. I've heard it is. Okay, I've had this thing since the Poreless Putty Primer came out. I don't know for sure if it's gonna work with this stuff, but you know what? We're gonna find out. The way I liked to use this with the Putty Primer was to scoop it out with this side and then spread it throughout my pores, kind of like spackle with the flat side, then brush away the excess. With this, I don't think it will work the same way. I don't think I'll need to like spackle with it. I don't know. We'll just see. Let's just take a little bit. That may even be too much. Okay, so then I would go spread so it fills the pores. It is really liquidy, very watery, especially compared to the Liquid Silk Canvas. I think that might be just a tad bit thicker. Okay, you know what? The little scooper actually does a great job at spreading the product around. And it seems like that was just enough to get the really porous portions of my face. I did miss the sides of my nose, and I always like to get that with something pore filling, so I'll go back in with just a little bit more. All right, now we have pore filled perfection. Say that 5 times fast. Pore filled perfection, 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 pore filled perfection. I think that was 6 times, but I still nailed it. It actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Anyway, now we're gonna use the brush side and see if we can't get rid of all of this extra liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Hold the dog hair. Man, he's lucky I love him. If I didn't love him, I would probably lock him out of the studio and not let him come in here anymore, especially now that I'm doing epoxy work in here as well as makeup, because not only do I end up with dog hair on my face every now and then when I'm putting on foundation, but now I end up with dog hair and random epoxy creations that I have to try and dig out with tweezers every now and then. You know what? My skin looks much smoother than it did before I went in with that primer. I really thought that its viscosity, with just how wet and watery it was, that it really wasn't going to do a great job of filling. Seemed like it would just kind of move around, but it did. It looks good. My assumptions only made an ass out of me. I hate it when my collar does that. You see the little flare it's got right there? It's like me. It's gotta put a little flair into everything it does. Now we get to try the e.l.f. Hydrating CC Cream. We have definitely tried the standard Camo CC Cream. If you want to see this review, I'll leave it linked right up here so you can check it out, see how the wear time was, see how it wore, and see what the finish was, so you can compare it to the hydrating version. I can tell you for sure, I know I already like this one more because it has tremella mushroom and hyaluronic acid, both of which are amazing hydrators. Not to mention it has a full coverage, long-lasting, dewy finish. Yes, please. And SPF 30. SPF 50 would have been better, but I'll take SPF 30. That is the lowest I'll go, but I'll take SPF 30. P.S. I got the shade Light 210N. See, that looks almost like it's just right. It seems like it's almost pretty much correct in the light to dark scale, but that undertone just looks kind of yellow on me in the monitor, not in real life. Maybe a little more peachy in real life, but on the monitor it looks kind of yellow. So I would want to add blue to this one to take down some of that yellow and cool it off a little bit. I added just a tiny little bit of the LA Girl Pro Color foundation mixing pigment in blue. Let's see how this side looks. I think that's a lot better, or I just used so little because I was scared that it seems like it looks just right. Okay, let me add more. So now you've seen light, medium, neutral with blue. Now here's light, medium, neutral with blue with red. That's almost perfect. Every time. I gotta cool it down, then I gotta warm it up. Then it gets there for some reason. That seems like that's still neutral to me. Why doesn't it work? Hello, my beautiful Barbie Princess Mermaid.
It looks like I have lipstick on.
Do you have lipstick on?
No.
Oh, well, you look real cute. You wanna say hi to everyone? I'm filming right now. You wanna say hi?
No.
Oh, come on, just say hi. Oh, you're shy. That's okay. You're cute. I love you.
I love you too.
Isn't she the most adorable thing you've ever seen in your life? I mean, if you have kids or grandkids, I'm sure they're the most adorable things you've ever seen in your life. But she's freaking adorable. All right, Maddie. I love you. She likes to watch Little Papa's videos. So, I had to give her a little shout out. I know she's going to be so embarrassed when she sees her little face on that video, but you know what? She's too cute not to show that little face. Okay, so I'm building up a little bit more product where I want some more coverage that looks ridiculous right now, but we're gonna trust the process and we're just gonna keep going and moving on. And with the concealer, like I said, I think that this e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener, that's such a mouthful, is more like a concealer rather than like the Becca Under Eye Highlighter. I think I've got that somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. I even keep this in my primer drawer instead of like my concealer drawer. Actually, I keep it with the color correctors because I personally don't like to leave this showing because it is so very, very pink. I prefer putting this on underneath, sort of acting as a color corrector, then building concealer on top of it once it dries down. Awaken your under eyes with illuminating pearls and color correcting tones. The medium coverage Putty Balm formula brightens the appearance of dark circles and creates a smooth canvas for concealer. Okay, so it is a base. Directions: gently pat into under eye area with fingertips and blend outward. Follow with concealer. Okay, so this really is meant to be just like a dupe for the Becca Under Eye Brightener. Which is great because you can't get the Becca, oh no, I stand corrected, hold on. You can still get the Becca Under Eye Brightener, but it's from Smashbox because Smashbox owns Becca. Or they took over the Becca products? I don't remember. It's something like that. I know you can still get it if you need it. It's kind of funny because I didn't mean to actually get this many e.l.f. products. It was just, they had an e.l.f. Bay set up at Ulta. And as soon as I saw all the new stuff, I was like, mine, mine, mine. And it just happened to be all e.l.f. Whoa, this is light medium? That looks like medium, not light medium. Oh man, I'm worried. Because the CC cream is definitely a light medium. Like at least the light to dark part was light medium. This, even that looks medium. Oh man. Oh good, okay, we'll survive. It's fine. It's just super peachy, that's all. Wow. Literally immediately color correcting. You see how little I put on and how much of a difference that already made? It's crazy. And it doesn't look really, really unnatural or overly pink. My problem area is right in this inner corner here. Let's see if I can focus some of the product right there. I know it says use your finger, but I really don't like doing that, especially in these little tiny areas like this. I need a concealer brush for this area. That is phenomenal. I look so much more awake and rested on this side. That looks so good. And it was just the color corrector. We've had a few seconds. I responded to a few Twitter comments. Now let's try the NYX Pro Fix Stick Correcting Concealer. Moment of truth, little fix stick. Let's see if you got this. I forgot what shade I got. What is this? This is the shade 06 Natural. And oh my gosh, they had a ton of shades of these. Not only did they have like your typical color correcting shade like the green, the orange, the peach, but they also had the full range of concealers. I don't remember exactly how many shades there were, but there were quite a few. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, it's a little bit brightening. Looks like I have a little peach nose ring. Cute. Coverage is very nice, but the formula, the way that just melted on and laid down, yeah, she's a creamy stick. That is gonna be coverage. Does it say what coverage this boasts? It doesn't. Okay. It kind of seems like a full. Maybe it's a medium full. Oh, and I think the shade is gonna be just right for brightening. I hope. Speaking of brightening, if it is just a little bit brighter, I don't want the coverage to be like way off on different parts of my face, so I'm just gonna put a little bit, but I want to see if it'll highlight just a tad down the center of the face and just a little bit right under these cheekbones. Sort of some reverse contouring here. Under eye concealer's been soaking for quite a while now. It should be pretty much set in place at this point. Hopefully we can still blend it. Yes, we can. Wow. That stuff is so creamy. Spreads really nicely. I'm getting it from that inner corner all the way to the outside where I've applied the rest of the product. And now that I'm seeing how it looks blended out, I think it's full coverage. At least a high medium. I mean, that covered really well. It does seem pigmented enough. I think you could probably get away with just using a tiny little bit and then blending it out with your finger and probably achieve some really, really natural skin-like results while still correcting the under eye darkness. But like I said, I like the coverage and it still looks really good. I really need some color on this flat complected face, so we're gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour in the shade Medium Tan. The light medium version is actually really nice for the formula. It's super creamy, it blends really, really well. It's very pigmented, but not so pigmented that it takes over everything super, super quick. It just takes a few dots and then you can pretty much blend out the entire perimeter of your face. With this one being medium tan, I'm gonna use like half the amount of dots because I think it's gonna spread a lot farther, especially since my skin tone is now lighter than it was when I bought this. Okay, this may be just way too dark for me now, but I want to try it. I think it's gonna be way too dark for me. Let's see what she does. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be just way too dark. I'm pretty sure. There's no way. What have I done? Why did I do that? I should have just did one dot instead. Man, this is gonna take forever to blend out and I'm gonna look so ridiculous at first. But you know, if I can blend all of this out and it not look muddy, that will be a true testament to the quality of the creaminess of the product. Now let's use the Cheeky Rose liquid bronzer. This one's in the shade Ibiza. I think this was one of the lighter shades, thank God. So I can look like I just came back from the Bahamas or Miami or, you know, wherever it's sunny and I would get super bronzy. Okay, but listen, I thought the Cheeky Rose blush and highlighter original was cute. This is adorable. It's so teeny tiny. I know it's just like the packaging and the design for the packaging, but you can't tell me that does not look super luxe. I didn't even mean to do that, but like Winky Lux, Super Lux, no wonder they're named Winky Lux. That was a little high on placement. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I was thinking it was time for blush. I don't know. I just love it when we don't practice moderation because we have no self-control. Yay, let's add even more definition to this overly defined face. Goody goody. Yet another seamlessly blending product. I'm gonna have the neck of a giraffe by the time I finish contouring it. Now we finally get to add a real color to the skin. I mean, I know like brown is a real color, but that's just definition. Now we need some fun pops of color, some blush. So we've got the Winky Lux Cheeky Rose Liquid Blush in the shade Queen, and we've also got the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Suave Mauve. Oh yeah, and the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blush. This one's in the shade Head in the Clouds Diffused Matte. Oh, there were luminous ones. I should have grabbed a luminous one, even though I don't really like luminous blushes, just so I could have seen what it looked like. That's okay though. And with the blushes, I want to use all of them. I know, I'm excessive. We've discussed this. But to do that, that means I'm gonna need to kind of stack them in a way that makes them dimensional. So like the deeper one towards the bottom, the lighter one towards the top. The trick is gonna be though, figuring out which one is lighter, because they look very close to the same shade. Wow, these are really, really close in tone, but one of them is darker than the other. So the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush is just slightly deeper of a tone and a little bit more mauve-y than the Winky Lux shade. So let's make them work together. Starting with the e.l.f. blush. Just gonna grab a little bit of that and diffuse it on the back of the hand, just so it's a little softer and not so intense, because there's a lot of pigment there. Starting right above that reversed contour highlight, we're just gonna start building a tiny little bit toward the front and bring it back. Already that color, sort of that natural flush. Then just gonna flip the brush over and go into the Winky Lux shade. And this one is gonna go on the higher point of the cheek. You see how those two tones just blend together so seamlessly? I mean, they're not actually even blended yet. They're just sitting on top of one another and they still look like they're meant to go together. Let's go into more blush, this time powder blush. Again, the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blush. 93% natural origin blurring blush. My skin's already hella blurred. I can't wait to see how this does. Oh, and it's got a little heart clasp. How cute. I'm just gonna use the same brush that I used in my powder to set my face. That way I can build it up slowly and not let it be way too intense, way too fast. Ooh, she's got some pigment. Like I barely touched the top of that. That is a tad more vivid than I expected. Only because I was using this brush, so I thought this would really diffuse the color and make it not so intense, which it did, because I could only imagine what it would have looked like if I wouldn't have used this brush. But it just lets you know that it's got a lot of pigment in it. Now we get to move on to eyes, and I have been waiting for this moment, because these BFF ColourPop liners, the moment I saw them on Trim Mood, I was like, I gotta have them. But you guys know I love the duochrome, the multi-chrome, the tri-chrome, the quad-chrome, all the chromes. I love all the chromes, but especially when they're all shifty, they just look so cool. So I picked up two shades here. I've got the shades Power Trip, which is the green one, and then Actin' Up is the red-based purple. But what color are their shifts? Hey, I didn't realize I did this, but these kind of match. Yeah, it doesn't look like they would. But when you see the purple shade, it's purple, right? But then it's green. So purple, green. And then the green, ironically enough, shifts to a really dark purple. So green and then purple. So really, they're like the same shades, but not. Like opposite. They're the same shades, but opposite. That's so fun. I'm going to attempt to make a little bit of a graphic liner here, but I only want it to be the inner corner section, like the inner cut crease area. Yeah, where you would like cut the crease and then make like a glitter line, essentially, and a little bit of a wing on the outside. Not a big one. So let's use the purple for the inner corner and the green for the outer corner. So that way, when we turn and it shifts, they'll switch. That's just so cool. I love that it's like that. Oh, I'm so terrified. I don't want to go in with it. Okay. Ooh, it's so pigmented! And that's on top of a powdered base. I thought I was going to be able to kind of like trace it out with a light touch first, then go in a little more heavy-handed. I don't think that's going to work this time. I mean, they kind of match, not really, sort of, barely, probably not at all, but I'm gonna fix that. With a pointed cotton swab, a little bit of concealer, and a really, really sharp flat brush. Oh yeah, and some micellar water. Yay, the purple is done and clean, and it's thin, and it's cute, and it's duochrome. Now let's try the green. barely touched the skin. Do you see how intense that is? Cheese and crackers. See, now I kind of want it to go out, but I can't undo it. I know I keep saying this, but it continually blows my mind how creamy this is. ColourPop, how dare you make eyeliners this amazing? This is such an awesome combination. Looking in the mirror, just looking forward, they both look like literally the exact same color. It looks like I just used a purple on the wing and the cut crease, and it's definitely not that. I mean, they are definitely green and purple, but they're not at the same time. Can you even see green in that one? There were a couple of times when I was filling in each one with the other and I didn't realize it because they look so much alike. Just the way that flip is, you know? Speaking of flip, this liquid eyeshadow has like 4 flips in it, 4 different shades. So I just want to kind of spackle this all over the lid in this inner portion here, just kind of a loose, glittery smattering, if you will. This one is in the shade Glaze. I'm just gonna take some on the back of my hand because I don't want to go immediately in with this thing on my lid. I'm sure it will be very powerful, very intense, very opaque. Maybe not opaque, but very pigmented. Oh, that is stunning. Oh my gosh. Whoa, that looks like red. It looks yellow, like right here, but in the monitor that looks red. Wow, this is gonna be so fun. I don't know that I can make it sheer though. Oh no, that's kind of shearing down. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's perfect. It's like just a super fine glitter when it's sheared out like that. I mean, it could be built up based on, ooh, even just that little bit already built it up some, but based on how it looks in the tube, I'm assuming we could get some very, very opaque, shifty kind of finish, but I just want that sparkle, you know, just a little bit of zhuzh on the lid here to add to the graphic liner effect. I'm totally building this up, even though I said I wasn't going to, and now it's looking kind of red, but it's also kind of yellow. It's just really, really pretty, and I just want to keep playing with it and building it so it'll look like that on my eye, but I'm not. I'm not, because I don't feel like those would really work together. So I'm just gonna stop right here. You didn't blend the wings. Put on some mascara and we get to move on to lips. Yay, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Everything is finally done except for the lips. So let's wipe off what I've got going on here. And you know what? I think just for the sake of comparison, let's use one of these on one half of my lip and the other one on the other half of the lip. You might say we're gonna do a lip parison. Ooh, I've been wanting to try these for so long, and now I got the shimmer version. Ooh, girl. She getting real big. And the NYX Slick Click Fat Oil. Ooh, she is clicking too. She got a good clicker. So let's do Tarte Maracuja on my left, and then NYX, my right, your left. Let's start with NYX, just because I haven't really seen this one being used all over TikTok, and the other one I have. Now I know one is shimmery and one is just like a clear oil. That's okay, I just want to see and feel how hydrating it is and compare that difference. This feels very balmy, which I'm very thankful for. The last time I used a stick oil like this, it got so messy. It was just very, very wet. Once it hit the lips, it turned into more like a watery consistency and you have zero control with it. This is not like that. I still have control. It's actually a little bit thick. Oh, does it have a little bit of pink in it? It does! It does have a little bit of pink in it. Okay, I thought it was just clear. Now left side for the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. Thicker, or like not so glidey. Oh no, there it goes. It just needed to warm up for a second. This one feels a little more silky. The flavor, oh my goodness, the flavor. What is that? At first it was coconut, I thought, but now I'm getting sort of like a minty kind of effect. I think that's the plumping part of it. Oh, the shimmer is beautiful. So the formulation of the lip product itself, like it feels very similar between the two. They kind of feel the same. The Tarte definitely has some kind of plumping property to it. There's some kind of plumper in it. The NYX one does not have any kind of plumper in it. Obviously, since the Tarte product has shimmer in it, like it's boasting shimmery, it actually looks a little more shimmery. But the NYX side honestly kind of looks a little more full, and I think that's only because the formula is a little more clear and the pieces of glitter that are in it are a little more spread out and a little more chunky instead of the shimmer in this one being finer. So I feel like this one is picking up my lip more and showing it through. This one is showing more of the shimmer and the sparkle that's inside the product. That's so funny because it really makes this side look like it's a little bit bigger, and this is the NYX one, even though this side I can feel plumping, like literally plumping. I have to even that out now. I can't stand it being separate like that, so let's just throw a little bit of the NYX one on the Tarte side and throw a little bit of the Tarte one on the NYX side. Yes! So much better. Now both sides look the same and even, and I feel like I can live again. Aww, oh my gosh, you guys, that's it. We covered everything already. And with that being said, this is the final look. What do you guys think? You know, even with this being one of the only times I didn't put on eyeshadow, well, no, I did put on a little bit of liquid eyeshadow, so you can't clock me for no eyeshadow. But even though we didn't do like an eyeshadow look, I still really like the overall look that we got. Was I a little overzealous with blushes? No. How dare you say I was? 3 blushes is not too much. In fact, it might not be enough. Really though, the blushes were gorgeous. The shades were beautiful. Now that I've seen them all beside each other, I feel like I probably could have gotten a couple of different shades just to vary it up a little bit so all the shades weren't so similar and like they all look the same on my face. But the formulations are beautiful and they look amazing. And these new Winky Lux Cheeky Rose liquid blush and bronzers are amazing. But I think why I like these so much more than the previous Cheeky Rose and the Bronze Age bronzing sticks is because they're in an easy to use form. Just shake, twist, and apply. But if you want a collector's cosmetic item and you want to hold on to something beautiful and keep it forever, get the Cheeky Rose blush and highlighters. You won't regret it, I promise you. Pleasantly surprised by the e.l.f. color correcting eye brightener. I thought this was going to be either too pink, like the Becca one, or it wasn't going to be like a corrector at all and it was just going to be a concealer, but I stand corrected. It is a corrector, a beautiful corrector, with a formula that doesn't get super cakey or super creasy, even if you put something else on top of it. In fact, they recommend you put a concealer on top of it. So I really like that. I didn't expect it to work like that, but I'm glad it did. You already know how I feel about the multi-chrome eyeliners. We don't even need to talk about it. It's beautiful. Same thing for the liquid shadow. It's multi-chrome. I feel like if it's a multi-chrome, we already know I'm gonna be obsessed. The NYX concealer is a little thick, but it is a stick concealer. You know, it's gotta be thick to hold its form. The Camo Hydrating CC Cream. I like this a lot. And I think why I like it so much is because of course its hydrating properties, niacinamide, tremella mushroom, hyaluronic acid, it's got all of the things. But because it has all of those properties that are so hydrating, it really helps on the cracking and the creasing from whenever you move your face. My forehead lines look so good even after doing the eyeliner and doing all of this to do the mascara, you know, making sure that everything doesn't transfer with these hooded lids. It all still looks really, really good. If I just relax and stop talking, yes, there is a line there. There will always be a line there no matter what I use, but the product isn't squishing out of it on the outside of the lines, making the lines even more apparent. It still looks smooth. It still looks like the foundation is fresh and that I haven't been wearing it for 6 hours. I can also say the NYX oil is not a direct dupe for the Shimmer Tarte Lip product. Perhaps for the non-shimmery, but I can't speak to that. Maybe I'll have to also get a non-shimmery so I can compare them as well. Anyway guys, that's it from me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so much and I will see you in the next one. Bye!